It is now my pleasure to introduce Councilman Sam DeMarco. Sam is an at-large member of Allegheny Council and is a Fortune 500 sales executive in document management. I have a feeling Sam might have something to say about Ms. Clinton's document management. Don't know. Sam was also a United States Marine Corps avionics technician for reconnaissance and fighter aircraft. Please help me welcome Sam DeMarco.
Thank you, Senator, and thank all of you for joining us here today at this wonderful location at Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall and Museum. This hall was envisioned and started by the Army of the Republic back in the 1890s. It was commissioned and it was built, and since the year 1910, it has been serving as the nation's only and largest memorial to veterans of all services and all wars. So thank you very much for joining us, and I urge you to explore this beautiful facility. My name is Sam DeMarco. I'm a county councilman here in Allegheny County, and I'm also a Marine Corps veteran. As many of you know, I'm a proud Republican. And as a veteran, I know that the Republican Party is the party which can promote good policy and legislation at all levels of government to help our veterans and promise a strong military. I am proud to stand here today with Senator Robbins, Sean Parnell, Senator Reschenthaler, Karif, and our other members here, as well as Colonel Lingenfeller here, as part of the Veterans Task Force. The Veterans Task Force will include individuals that you see here today, and Senator Robbins introduced the others that are no longer on this task force. One of the things that makes me so proud to be a veteran and so proud to be a Republican is that we have tried repeatedly to address ongoing challenges we have with the Veterans Administration. This country, before we even had a nation, going back to the Pilgrims at Plymouth Colony, recognized the need to provide care for our veterans that were disabled in war. Taking and moving forward through the Continental Congress of 1776 up to 1930, when President Herbert Hoover signed an executive order taking and creating the Veterans Administration, this nation has recognized and made a solemn promise to the men and women that we send into harm's way that we will provide for them should they be injured or disabled. Ladies and gentlemen, we are no longer keeping that promise. And that is one of the reasons why I stand before you here today. We could talk about a large number of the events or the things that have taken place. Many of you are well aware of what took place in Phoenix, which was just the tip of the iceberg, with the waiting time scandal, in which the CDC determined that there were a number of veterans, at least 6, which died while waiting for access or for appointments to receive treatment for acute care. That waiting time, those issues are prevalent throughout the entire country today and are still ongoing. Just 2 weeks ago, there was a local town hall here in Pittsburgh that was held. And the acting director of the VA told the veterans there that, hey, our phone waiting time, our call waiting time used to be 45 minutes, but now we have it down to seconds. He was immediately confronted by a veteran who said, I can't get through. He said, that's no good to say it's seconds if we can't get through. The VA is manipulating wait times and the way they manage and count this. For example, if you're a veteran and you call in and you say, I'd like an appointment in a week. Well, if they get you the appointment in 2 weeks, they count the wait time as only 7 days. So they're counting it from the time rather than how long it's actually taking you. They're playing a lot of games out there, folks, and it has to stop. Here in Pittsburgh, we all know so much more. Many of us are aware of what took place here at the Pittsburgh VA facility with Legionnaire's disease, where you had over 21 veterans contracted Legionnaire's disease, over 6 of whom passed away or are deceased. And at this entire time while this was ongoing, the Veterans Administration kept it quiet and didn't tell anybody what was ongoing. The Inspector General's report found multiple deficiencies there. And eventually, the individual who was in charge of the VA was quote unquote fired. But in government, you're never really fired. And my understanding is she's now suing to get her job back. Folks, this isn't a matter of resources. When this scandal broke, the first thing that did is the politicians all rushed to the podium and they talked about we need to give more money. Well, what good does it give more money if we spend $1 billion paying out for malpractice claims? If we spent $408 million since 2010 on solar panel installations, in which 11 of the projects they checked aren't operating or functioning yet. So actually, instead of receiving savings, it's costing us money. When we're spending $20 million plus on art, $670,000 for sculptures at a Palo Alto facility for the blind? Really? How many doctors, how many nurses, how much clinical equipment could have been purchased with this amount of money? Folks, we are not keeping the promise that we've made to our veterans. And it all starts with holding our leaders accountable. If they won't make the changes, if Secretary McDonald won't make the changes, we need to change our leaders. And that's why I have joined the Veterans Task Force here and am proud to be a member of this. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Sam.